This is Carrie Johnson with the Iowa Department of Management, and this is part 4 of a series of brief webinars to provide county auditors and their staff that work with valuations an overview of the 2023 property valuation submission to Department of Management. This particular part is going to talk about doing errors checks and then other things that we recommend you need to do and complete prior to submitting data. One thing that you will need to do, assuming that, like most counties, you have TIF activity within your county, you're going to need to make sure that you have tax rates entered for the calculation of estimated TIF revenue. There's a report that your levy authorities that use TIF, and then also you as well, will want to check that provides estimated TIF revenue for the TIF areas in your county. The current year TIF rates need to be populated. Now, it should populate those rates for you. If for some reason you would not be seeing them, you can click the populate rates at the bottom of your screen, but those should be in there for you. So just double check that. As well, you will need to enter any TIF rate for any newly created TIF increment districts in this new valuation year, and then select save. So our system, if that tax district exists in the current year, well, our system does know what the current rate is and can calculate an estimated TIF rate for you. But if it's a brand new TIF, we're not going to have that information from the current year, so you will need to manually enter that rate and do a save. So again, what you should see is the estimated net consolidated rates. This is on the TIF area revenue screen. And then your taxable valuation that's populating for you from what you have uploaded. And then, populate rates if you're not seeing these rates appear for some reason, but also if you do any new additions. So in this case, we added a new TIF project in a new tax district, so we needed to click save in order to save our estimated net consolidated tax rate. And if you do have questions regarding exactly what that estimated TIF rate is, I would suggest if you're working with TIF and you need that background, please review the other set of videos I have prepared that are specific to TIF. Errors check will need to be run before you submit your data. Anything that is in red is an error and will not allow you to submit and file your data. So you cannot finalize it. Anything that's a yellow is a warning, and it's just sort of a heads up that you need to go check something out. So in this case, we have an orphan TIF increment district. So we created a new TIF district, tax district, but we didn't assign it to its overarching area. So we need to go in and assign that TIF district to its area. And that is an error that you would need to fix before you could file data. In this case, we have some warnings, and this is a TIF area that doesn't have any tax districts associated with it. So this might be a situation where there is a TIF area that exists. You don't want to delete it completely out of the system, but it's not yet been used to actually divide revenue yet. So that could be the case. So that's not an error, but it is something you want to make sure is not something you simply overlooked. And then frozen base amount of 0, there could be situations where the frozen base amount is actually 0, or in other cases, the TIF district is just not set up to divide revenue at this point, so there is no frozen base yet to report. Rollback worksheet, we talked about that a little bit in another segment, but the rollback worksheet is just going to provide for you a calculation using your 100% value that you had submitted, the current, the applicable, I should say, rollback amount for that class of property. It's going to produce a value, and then it's going to compare it to what you said total taxable value is in the data you submitted. It's going to do a comparison. We'd expect them to be relatively close, and it's going to give you the produced difference over or under. If it's a real small amount, certainly 3 digits, 2 digits, in 2 digits, absolutely. It's probably just a rounding situation, not something really to worry about. But if you've got a 4-digit difference or a high 3-digit difference, certainly contact me. If you've got a real big number here, we need to look into it and see what's going on. There is no calculation or comparison for commercial, industrial, and railroad because of the two-tier limitation. We're not able to do that calculation here on the sort of the gross amount. So just sort of be aware of that. Okay, and then also on the rollback worksheet, just to let you know, because we do have the two types of exemptions now. We have the military exemption and the homestead exemption. So those will be listed here as well, and providing that subtraction from the gross to get to our net. On the rollback worksheet, you can download it, you can print it if you want to be like, hey Carrie, this looks weird. You can download it to your system and send it to me, and we can take a look at it, or you can just send me an email and ask me to go in and look at it, etc. Just a way to actually have that information in your hand. Some common errors that we see when people do that errors check. The TIF increment district not assigned to a TIF area, that's real common. People go ahead and create that new TIF basin increment set of districts, but then they forget to say, okay, well, what TIF area, urban renewal area, is this in? And assign it to that. So that's an important step, and it will catch you if you haven't done that. And also a real common one, we have folks report city ag land, so city ag class value in a non-city ag taxing district, or value other than city ag in a city ag tax district. And it's really residential is usually what trips people up. So, you'll have a parcel that has a house on it, but also city ag land. Well, the residential's got to go in a regular city taxing district because it's residential class and is taxed as such. But the ag land piece has to go in the ag district, city ag district, because it gets a special tax rate. So that's real common that happens. So if you see those types of errors, you might have to go, back to your software folks and figure out what's going on with those particular situations. If you have any questions as you're running reports and taking a look at those things, please contact me. I am available by phone and by email. Thank you so much.